All right, we're here with senior receivers Tripp Walsh and Andrew Weske. Thanks, guys, for coming down and sitting through this interview.
Of course.
Now, I'll start with you, Tripp. That is not your full name. What is your full name?
Michael. My first name's Michael. My dad and grandpa are both named Michael, so I'm the third Michael in that line.
And so that means the Tripp, like triple?
Exactly, yep.
Something people might not know.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Tripp, you had 426 yards. Andrew, you are currently sitting at 600 some yards, 624, I think. How many TDs do you both have? Do you know?
Oh, gosh.
I want to say
8, I think.
9.
Yeah, I think he has one more than me.
As I look today, currently tied 9 apiece
Okay.
is what the records I have. I have to verify that before this game starts, before this interview goes live, but it looks like both tied at 9 apiece. Quite the dynamic duo. First question I have for both of you. What outside of football has helped prepare you from your sophomore, your junior to senior year that has made you a better player?
For me, I play a lot of other sports, and so I've had a lot of mentors in the past from my sophomore year to now. So, coaches have always given me great advice about how to be the best person, the best player I can be, and I think that's helped me greatly.
What are some of those sports that you've played?
So I do basketball in the winter, and then I do track in the spring.
Basketball and track. And then, Andrew, what about you? What helped you become a better football player outside of actual football?
Probably just the seniors last year, just looking up to them. That we had some great role models. I always looked up to them. They kind of guided me in the right direction, and to this day, I always thank them.
Okay. And do you do anything outside of football in terms of sport?
Track.
You also run track. So both of you run track in the spring.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Andrew, what words would you use to describe Tripp's ability as a wide receiver?
Vertical. He can jump pretty high. He's got the best hands. So hands.
Well, that's a good compliment. Okay, and the hands. Does that vertical help you? I think you are a jumper in track, right?
Yeah.
High jumper in track. Okay. Give me one more.
I would say speed, but
But somebody else has that on this. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And then just vision, just as to able to see like where open windows are. That's pretty important.
Okay. Awesome. And then same thing with you, Tripp. What words would you use to describe Andrew as a wide receiver?
Yeah, I definitely say speed. He's definitely. I'd say he's got the edge on that. He can, beat anyone on any route over the top. So I definitely say speed, and then I definitely say something that he excels at is yards after catch, which is something that I'm trying to work on. But yeah, his ability to be able to run after he catches the ball is, second to none. So. Yeah.
Awesome. And you two, obviously, with those combined 18 touchdowns, looking at your abilities as the wide receiver, the playmakers for this offense, have really become a dynamic duo. And so before this interview showed, I put a couple dynamic duo images up there and asked each one to pick that image that represented them as a dynamic duo. So let's see if we can see these images up there. So we got Elsa and Anna, some PB&J, Bert and Ernie, Patrick and SpongeBob, Mater and Lightning, and Beavis and Butthead, which I think Beavis and Butthead is probably before your time. Do you guys even know who those two are?
I've heard of them.
Heard of them?
I haven't
Okay.
seen, the show. No.
Okay, so my question is, I want to see if they can figure out which item or object the other person picked to represent them. So let's start with Tripp. What do you think Andrew picked?
I'm in between two right now.
Okay, what two are you thinking?
I'm
here?
in between peanut butter and jelly and SpongeBob and Patrick.
Okay, I'll tell you. You have one of those two is correct. So
Okay.
you 50-50 here. Which one did Andrew pick to describe your dynamic duo kind of abilities?
Yeah. Knowing him, I want to say SpongeBob and Patrick. Is that wrong?
0 for 1. You did not get it right. It was PB&J. Now, Andrew, I love the way you described this. You said it's PB&J describes our dynamic duo because of what?
All right, so I said Tripp's more of the peanut butter type of part of the PB&J, just because he's more of a solid player than I think I am. And then me represents the jelly, just because I don't know, just a little more, just a pop, I guess.
Okay.
And then also, like, you can't have one without the other. So
Yeah, I like that, right?
it's a
PB and J, you
combination.
can't have one without the other, and I think that's what makes such a great dynamic duo, the playmaking ability for both of you. So, question back to you, Andrew. Which one did Tripp pick to represent your dynamic duo of playmakers?
I'm between Lightning and Mater or PB and J.
Again, back in the same boat. One of those is
Okay.
correct. We'll see if we can't pick up a win here between Lightning and Mater and PB and J. Which one is it?
I'm gonna go Lightning and Mater.
Ding, ding, ding. We got it. No, I like this response. So we got it correct. Lightning and Mater is what Tripp picked. And Tripp, your explanation was?
Sure. Yeah. So, but like our sophomore year, we didn't know, I wouldn't say we knew each other great, but like getting to play football with him really built our bond as football players and as friends, and since then we've become inseparable, and yeah, it's been it's just a great journey.
Now, when I asked him which one was he in this, guess which one he was, Mater or Lightning?
Lightning.
Yeah, which again, you're thinking with the speed that he would have went the other way, but I like it. So thanks for playing that game, gentlemen. Let's take a look at some of that actual dynamic duo in action. So I have a couple plays, and I want you to just kind of break down what was going on, sort of what helped you get in these positions, and then what was kind of going through your mind. So the first one we're going to go to, we are playing against Homestead. This is week 2, coming off a big win against Marquette. At this point, it's third quarter. Do you remember the score before this play happened?
I want to say it was it 6-3?
It was 6-3. So we're losing. It's 3-6 Homestead, right?
Yeah.
And so this is a big drive. We get it down here, and kind of walk me through this play as it's going here.
Absolutely. Okay, so right away the safety's further up than normal. So my first instinct is that I have to get on his toes, and then it's a post route, so I got to make sure I cross his face here.
So you're talking about the safety being up, and you get cross his face, get inside.
Yep.
And our sophomore quarterback,
Yeah.
right? It's hard to believe that sometimes with his ability
Oh,
to
yeah.
stay calm, to keep the play alive, and he is able to scramble here. And you kind of keep this post route drifting. Is that kind of the concept or the idea? If the play breaks down, I'm just going to keep working and try and stay open.
Exactly. So we work it in practice. It's called scramble drill. As the quarterback rolls out, we want to work with the quarterback to that same side of the field. So I see him roll out. I keep working, and yeah, he makes a throw that only I can catch, and yeah.
Yeah, you got a high jumper on your team, right? You want to put that ball up high. How aware and how much do you practice also on not only catching it, but I think you do a tremendous job of knowing where you are on the field and being able to get that 1 foot down. So is that something that's practiced throughout the season? How aware are you at that point to make sure you get that 1 foot down?
Yeah, I felt myself getting close to the back of the end zone for sure, and yeah, we work it in practice every day. We call it Dragon Ball Z, where we drag the back foot as we catch it. So yeah, we work it every day, and yeah, it paid off here for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. You talk about being a close game. We take the lead here, go up 10-3, and then this is the break in momentum that Arrowhead needed, right? This is kind of that spark. I think we go on a 24-0 run in the fourth quarter. So a big play by you kind of sparks the rest of our offense to kind of get going and get started. So that was a really good play by you. Let's go to the next play. We're working later in the season. Andrew, what quarter is this against McGuanago?
Fourth quarter.
Fourth quarter. Do you know how much time is left on the clock?
23 seconds.
I want to say that maybe, yeah, so like we score with about 14 seconds.
Okay.
So down by 7, able to put down a really good drive to get us in this spot.
Mm-hmm.
Previous play, I think they went to you again in the back of the end zone, couldn't quite get the foot down. And what do? They come back to a senior leader, come back to you. What do you see at the start of this play? What is your vision here? What do you see, and what route are you going to be running?
Well, first off, I knew I was running a 5-yard speed out. And then if you see over there, the cornerback has an inside shade on me, so I know this route's already going to be favorable. And obviously, a young quarterback like that, I didn't expect him to see that right away, but he ended up seeing it, and it worked out perfectly. So then I pretty much just ran what we always do in practice. We always practice it every day, just ran it normally. And he was
Okay,
able to
so you
get
got a
it.
5-yard speed out,
Yeah.
right? Kind of just getting inside that goal line, I assume.
Yeah.
Talking about the inside leverage here, so you're thinking right at the bat, hey, this has a chance to go here, get us a chance to tie this game up
Yeah.
and whatnot. So let's play this through, see what we have. And are you gonna off the snap? What are you trying to do with your leverage with that inside guy?
So off the snap, I just want to kind of make him uncomfortable, make him think I might be going inside, but then break it out.
So you're gonna stem him inside just to get him a little bit not get him comfortable, and then you break it out. Now you don't catch it right on the goal line. So what happens here after you do that 5-yard speed out?
After I broke for the speed out, my job from there is just to look for the ball and grab it wherever it is. So that's Vance put it in a spot where I could grab it, and I went up and did that.
So again, a nice job by a sophomore quarterback. You know, he realizes I have some area, some end zone to work with, and this is just obviously a lot of repetition, I assume.
Oh yeah.
A lot of trust in his senior wide receivers. He puts it at a spot knowing that you're willing to go up and get it. You see this ball in the air, what are you thinking?
Obviously a little scared. I mean, literally the last play, same thing, but I was out of bounds. So my main focus is just to first secure the ball and then second get my feet in bounds.
Good job going up and getting the ball. I'm sure, you know, our wonderful coaching staff, they've prepared you well, want to high point that ball and still maintain, and you get that foot down. And absolutely no argument here. You get the foot down inside the line. That's just a tremendous individual effort. But I assume that goes with tons of repetition, tons of coaching, and that stuff gets repped every single day. And it's nice to see in that big spot, right? Down by 7. You know, we end up going for 2 trying to win it. It gives us an opportunity for our team to win. So those are 2 great plays, but I assume that's a lot of summer work. That's a lot of camp. That's a lot of August to September work that gets put in there. Looking at those plays, you know, we have a lot of Lake Country, our Chiefs program. You see them in the stands all the time wearing their jerseys, right? They're super excited to catch an Arrowhead game. They watch those plays and they're probably thinking, man, I want to be Tripp Walsh. I want to be Andrew Weske, right? You guys are kind of what they aspire to be as they're watching those games. Do you remember some of the players that you looked up to? You know, whether it be through the Chiefs watching a varsity game, or as you talked about maybe a couple of years ago, kind of watching some of the seniors that you had a chance to watch. Are there any players that stuck out to you that you sort of emulated your either work ethic or your game around?
Yeah, so for me, I remember my freshman year, for playoffs, they bring up a few freshmen, and I was chosen, and I was very thankful for that opportunity. And one of the mentors there that I would take notes from was a receiver named Robbie Simden, who graduated, went on to play football at St. Thomas, and he was just an extremely hard worker and someone that I absolutely looked up to. So.
Awesome. Yeah, he was a very hard worker. Kind of had that same body style, right? And a really good player for us that year. What about you, Andrew?
For me, I'd have to say Don Burklaw. I think I met him my sophomore year here, and ever since then, I always just looked up to him. His work ethic, pretty much everything he did I always just looked up to him.
Yeah, very hard worker. And there isn't anybody that I thought that I've seen in a long time that could track the ball in the air. Had tremendous ability to find that ball and come down with it. But I'm telling you now, there's going to be kids that are going to be saying the same thing about Tripp Walsh and Andrew Weske. So the last question I have for you guys, you know, once you're able to kind of separate yourselves from this season, and I know we want to continue here for a couple more weeks, but when you get to sit down and say, think about your experiences through this program, what are 1 or 2 memorable things that are going to stay with you as you transition away from the Arrowhead program?
For me, I'd say the most memorable moment for me playing football at Arrowhead has to be it was last year at McGuanago. It's something that during the playoffs, it was something that I'll never forget. Just because it was the last time that I would ever be able to play with those seniors that I looked up to so much, and they helped me and guided me so much. So that's definitely one of the most memorable moments for me, and it's something that I'll never forget.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm on the same boat with Tripp, but just saying something else. In the summer, we did these 7-on-7 programs just with our team against other teams, and that whole experience really just did a lot for me and really like just set my mind in on football and helped me grow a healthy relationship.
Start creating some of those bonds with
Yeah.
with the players as well.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, good luck this Friday against Sussex Hamilton, and hopefully we can continue at least for another week. So good luck, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.